The 4 types of property relations. In our laws, these are more properly called property regimes. And in the family code, there are these 4 types that have been covered. 1. The system of absolute community. 2. The conjugal partnership of gains. 3. Complete separation of property. 3. Property regime of unions without marriage. Most of us eventually get married at some point in our lives. When we do, one of these property regimes applies to us and will govern our individual rights over the things, the properties that we accumulate over time through our hard work. This includes real estate, cars, jewelries, and everything else valuable. Knowing when and how these property regimes apply may save you from a lifelong mistake. August 3, 1988 was the day the Family Code of the Philippines took effect. Since that day, the default property regime that will govern couples when they get married is the absolute community of property. That is, if they don't agree on another regime prior to getting married. This agreement prior to the wedding is called the marriage settlements. Before August 3, 1988, those couples who got married without executing a marriage settlements beforehand are governed by the conjugal partnership of gains regime. The complete separation of property regime only applies if the husband and wife agreed to it in their marriage settlements, which they have to execute prior to the wedding. They cannot execute this after the wedding already. The property regime of unions without marriage applies to 2 kinds of couples living together without being married. 1. Those who are legally capable of getting married, and 2. Those who cannot legally get married because of some legal impediment or incapacity of either or both of them. Although these 2 are governed by the same property regime, there are different rules for each one of them. The relationship between a man and his other woman falls under the second kind. This is because, under our general law, a man can only marry one woman. If he is already married to one and their marriage is still in effect, he cannot marry his other woman as well. This is an example of a legal impediment I'm referring to above. However, just because the other woman cannot be legally married by her partner, doesn't always mean that she totally doesn't have any right whatsoever on the properties that she and her man have accumulated together. The law apparently gives some consideration to her rights also. So now that you know what property regime applies to you, we can now move on to knowing how each of these regimes work. Thank you for watching. JF Property Group are offering you a residential lots, agricultural lot for sale and an apartment for rent. Search www.jfpropertygroup.com. Contact us for more information. Our social media platform. We offer services to market your business. Don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell for a more interesting video.